You shall know them by their fruit. Hey guys, it's John here in the studio with my mug of coffee again. I love me some coffee. Hey guys, so let's talk about this idea of knowing them by their fruit. You know, Joshua said, love one another. Whatsoever you do to the least of my brothers, that you do unto me. He was teaching love. He was teaching compassion. He was teaching joy. He was teaching the power within. The kingdom of heaven is within you. Ye are gods. If you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can ask a mountain to move, and it will move. Nothing is impossible for you. He was showing you your power. He was showing you the way to love and express that love into the world. Book of Matthew talks about false prophets. Now, I proudly wear the mantle of false prophet because I'm told I'm a false prophet every day. And what does a false prophet mean? A false prophet, let's think about it. First of all, false, an untruth. Prophet, someone who is predicting the future. So I know I'm not a false prophet because I don't predict the future at all. I never predict the future. I also know that I'm speaking my truth, which is not false, so I can't be a false prophet. I also know that I've never asked anybody to take what I believe is true. So I'm not preaching or trying to sway anyone to my belief. I'm specifically just speaking my truth, as I've said multiple times in multiple videos. And the idea of knowing them by their fruit. As I said, I get called a false prophet occasionally. I get called the Antichrist occasionally. I get called horrible, horrible, horrible things. And the people who are calling me a false prophet are saying some of the harshest, meanest stuff. Joshua said, love one another. And whatever you do to the least of my brothers, that you do unto me. And when you look at it from that perspective, and then you look at it from the quote, you shall know them by their fruit, you'll find out very quickly that the people who are judging and yelling and screaming and using harsh names and things of that nature, that's their fruit. They are in a bad way. They are choosing to have to be right, and you have to be evil and a horrible reprobate because you are this person who doesn't believe as they do. Their fruit is hate, division, and fear. Now, I have met beautiful people of all religions, and the people who are calling me this are from a minority of the society of the world. The people who are judging and screaming and hollering and yelling and saying, I am a reprobate, they're using words and languages from that religion, from that ideology. You shall know them by their fruit. My experience with them has been them attacking me, them hating me, them not loving me in any way, shape, or form. Whatsoever you do to the least of my brothers. In the Bible, Joshua heals the Roman soldier's ear, and he heals the Roman soldier's daughter, and he treats the Samaritan woman with respect. He travels on the Sabbath, so he's not following those rules. He never once in the Bible baptizes anyone. All of those rules, all of those ideologies are of that one religion, and you shall know them by their fruit. Those lines were supposedly written after Joshua said that, right? Or, when you look at this from the idea of knowing them by their fruit as a means of saying whose spirituality is working. I laugh every day. I love every day. I smile every day. I don't get upset by the people who come and attack me because I know that's theirs and not mine. I know that's their fear and their anxiety. I also know that is the fruit that they are bearing. They are bearing the fruit of hate, fear, anger, and judgment. And their own book says, judge not, lest ye shall be judged. So knowing them by their fruit means they're not even following their own book. They're not even following their own teachings. They're just hating, judging, and fearing. And the fruit that they're bearing is sour and bitter. The worst thing I could do in that regard is to bear fruit that matches theirs. The most beautiful thing I could do is to recognize the fear and the anxiety that they're in, and recognize that it's their problem, their issue, their fruit that they're bearing, and it shows them that to be bitter and angry and judgmental. But they'll tell you flat out, God is your judge, I'm not your judge, but everything they say is a judgment, right? So the fruit they are bearing is one of a false prophet. Now, going back to the word prophet, I get told on a regular basis that I am going to burn in hell. That's a prophecy. They're telling me what my future is going to be, right? So they're lying about me in a way. They're being false. They're saying, you are doing this, you are doing that, you are doing this, you are doing that. I don't believe what they believe, so they are creating a story about what I'm doing to match their narrative, which does not, in fact, match anything I'm doing. So it's false. What they're saying about me, what they're saying that is going to happen to me, what they're saying I'm doing is just simply false. They're telling me I'm going to burn in hell, so that's the prophecy. So they are false prophets bearing sour fruit. And you can be a false prophet with them and get reactive to it and empower their bitter fruit, or you can smile, recognize their fear, wish them well, and move on. Because you don't want to be the one bearing bitter fruit for someone else. Because all you're doing is empowering you're making their roots stronger by fighting against them. Because the more their roots have to grip onto their soil of hate and fear and anger, the stronger their tree becomes. The less reactive you are. My son, when he was a kid, he had a bully used to pick on him. And driving to school, we would decide whether it was going to be a fun day or a bad day. And he'd say, fun day. And on the fun days, that's how we stopped the bully from coming at him. The bully would come and try to get a reaction from him. And I told him to simply say, I'm not doing that today, and go do what you have to do. Go do something else. Don't worry about anybody else. The bully stopped fighting him. Many years later, I ran into the bully's mother, and she said that her son had said he wishes he was more like Kynan because nothing bothers him. And when the bully was picking on him, everything bothered him. He was very empathically open. But the reality of it is that he found that he can not be in reaction to somebody else's bitter fruit. And he can just be who he is. My son laughs and smiles and giggles every day. He's a wonderful, wonderful young man. And the fruit that he is bearing is the fruit that he's learned. And be the bright spot in your world so that the people around you are learning and being able to drink or eat from your sweet fruit, your loving fruit, and be the beautiful fruit tree in the garden that grows with more and more beautiful fruit trees around you because you're dropping those seeds of that fruit around you. And that's my thought on this. You guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. See ya. Bye.